Hey YouTubers, this is Bob Hickman. It is so good to be back with all of you. Well, it seems a lot of you really enjoyed my recent video on UFOs, aliens, and the Prime Directive. And if you haven't seen that, that's the video right before this one. I keep all my videos in chronological order, so you can go check that out. You seem to really like it. A lot of you have been writing saying how many wonderful ideas you've had about talking about that. And we're going to definitely do more videos. A lot of you sent me the names of alien races you've been exploring, and I'm exploring them now too, so I thank you for that insight. You know, I tell you, it's a big universe, so we're all learning. And that's what we're about here at Spiritual, learning together. So in the next 2 weeks, we're going to have another video, and we're going to talk about alien races. The ones that you guys have sent me that I've been researching that I'm not familiar with. So we're going to definitely come back to that. So thank you. Anyways, I wanted to show you also today my new pendant that I'm wearing. Check this out. This ties in with our subject matter today. You're going to say, what is that, Bob? It's a little book done in pewter. And it's got a little, you see a little crystal inside, a little emerald in the middle there. Right in the middle, it's a little crystal, emerald crystal. This is a spell book or a book of shadows. In today's subject, we're going to talk about how to make a practical book of shadows. So I wore this pendant today because we're talking about that. So, anyways, a lot of you saw, I did a video, it's been about 2 years back now, on a book of shadows. And I showed you back then, I had a little spell book, or a little book of shadows, that was great, out of green leather. And I love that little book, but thing is, over the last year I found it's really not working for me. It's just not practical because, one, I find that when I want to write spells in it, it's too small, so it goes on pages and pages, and it's just not working. And the other thing is everything's bound in that book, so if I want to switch stuff around, I can't do it. So I said, you know what, I need to change things, and I decided to go back and do some research on books of shadows. And I looked up here, this is one of my favorite all-time books, Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner by Scott Cunningham. And this was the very first book I ever read on Wicca, like 15, 16 years ago. But anyways, in this book, I said, what did he say about Book of Shadows? So I went in here, I thought just for a minute before we get into this, I'd just read you something here. So this is from Scott Cunningham, and this is in his section on Book of Shadows. And he says, to make your own Book of Shadows, begin with any blank book. These are available in most art stores and bookshops. If you cannot find a bound blank book, any lined exercise book will do. Simply write in this book any rituals, spells, invocations, and magical information that you have either composed or found elsewhere or would like to preserve. And he says, remember, all Book of Shadows, including the one in Section 3, there's one in the back of this book, are suggestions as to ritual, not holy writ. Never feel tied down to these words. In fact, many witches use 3-ring binders, shuffling around pages, adding or subtracting information from their Book of Shadows at will. And as I was reading, I thought, that's what I need. I need to switch my format. So I set aside my bound book because I realized that I was also collecting information that wouldn't fit in it because it was a tiny book. And I said, I need a bigger book and a flexible book. So Psychic Bob went to a 3-ring binder. This is my new Book of Shadows. Now, this one here, I've got to put the cover in. I'm still designing that. But it has a little plastic cover, and you can create artwork and slide it inside it. It's a clear cover. So I'm going to make a new cover for this, and we'll have more videos when that's finished. But I thought I would just kind of touch in with you today about how to set one of these up. Now, the first thing that you want to do is find a 3-ring notebook. They make them all different sizes. I think this one is a 2.5-inch one, and it holds like 400 pages. So, anyways, get whatever size you want. I started with this one. I'm sure I'll expand. But you'll notice inside it's got 3 rings. And you can pop it, you can open it, and move stuff around. Now, some of you are going to want to just get a hole punch, which I don't have today, and punch papers and you can put it in. That's certainly one way to do it. Or you can do what I did, which is to buy this. These are document preservers, what do they call them? This is by Avery, this one. It's heavyweight presentation sheet protectors. And you can buy these at any office store or online. But what they are is, I opened it up here. These are little clear blank sheets. Now, they're already pre-perforated, which I love, because I'm not very coordinated. I try to hole punch stuff. I get it all crooked. Even though it's got a guide and it's supposed to work, I don't know. So I said, hey, pre-punched, perfectly aligned, this is for Psychic Bob. So anyways, what you can do is you get those and you just put them in your 3-ring binder. So you can just pop it open and you put those in. And then what you do, oops, I got this upside down. Once you put them in, you can then add your spell sheets inside of these. And this is what I've done over here, as you can see. Now, this is my Book of Shadows Blessing, and I basically put it in the holder. So I'm going to just take it out of here so you can see that. And this is done on parchment. Now, there are a lot of Wiccans, which, I didn't know this. I guess I'm out of touch. But they design these and sell them. That's part of it. It's a part of their business. And I just love the beautiful calligraphy and artworks. And so I've been starting to collect these parchment spells. And once I buy them, I then just put them in these sleeves in my Book of Shadows. And the wonderful thing is, they're usually big enough that you can put 2 in. So I have, as you can see here, 2 sheets. One side is one, and then you flip it over, and I put the other spell. So you put them back to back, then you can get 2 in for the price of 1. Isn't that wonderful? Now, if you're somebody who likes a lot of open space and places to write stuff, you don't have to do that. You can leave it blank, but that's how I've done it. So I've got here my spell book blessing. That's my first section here. And then I put in other information. Now, you can do however you want here. I put the Wheel of the Year right at the beginning, so at a glance I know where to find what time we're in, And I've got other things in here, moon phases. This is a spell sheet I got on moon phases. And then I had an old moon calendar that I just liked, so I put that in there. And, what the wonderful thing is, if you use the document protectors, you can add your own stuff in. Now, for example, I did this photo. I photocopied this. This is a picture of the tarot card, the High Priestess. And I love this card. So I made basically a printout, a large copy, and then I was able to put that in my Book of Shadows. So as you can see, you can make your own art as well. And I would encourage you to do that. Make your own imagery and put it in, and that makes your book really, really special. Here is my my section on Theban alphabet, which you guys know I'm working on. And there's the runes. I love the runes. But anyways, I want to encourage you to kind of explore with this format. I used to think, 3-ring binder, Book of Shadows were not very beautiful. I used to think, I want a big leather-bound book, very gold gilt and all. And I realized that a Book of Shadows is really only good if it's practical. And so this one is practical because not only can I move stuff around, I can add stuff and subtract stuff, but I can also read it easier at my altar, and like, for example, here's a paper I put in on the history of the wand. See? And that's a thing. So you can put information in, and this way you can get a lot of stuff in one area. Whereas with my older book, it might take 6 pages to write one spell because it was a 4x6 size paper. This is wonderful at my altar. I can clearly see it. I can lay it out flat, okay? As you see, it lays out flat. So you can have it on your altar, be doing your ritual, and look over and see what you need to read. I think it's wonderful. Here's my charge of the goddess. Take a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, I purchased that. I think I didn't pay more than like $2 for any of these sheets. Usually less than that, like $1.80. But they're done on fine parchment, and they're beautiful, as you can see, artworks. And I love it. And so here's a picture of the moon goddess, which I love, and I put that right next to the charge of the goddess. See, that's my own artwork that I dropped in. Printed that out and just put it in. And see, isn't that lovely? See, so you can make your Book of Shadows really beautiful. You know, as I said, my previous concept is 3-ring binders were like blah. But you know what? I'm changing that, and I'm making my Book of Shadows amazing, amazing. And I love it. I'm having a lot of fun with it here. So you can do that. Think about, you know, also incorporating some blank pages in. I just ordered some parchment paper, which I'll have coming soon. And what I'm going to do is, in the book, I'm going to put in some blank pages as well, and I can handwrite my spells also. So, you know, I have a combination. Some of it's handwritten, some of it's printed. Here's a wonderful spell, Conjuring a Spirit. Isn't that cool? Look at that. So, you know, think about, you know, that. I think one of the things is that, you know, we all want our Book of Shadows to be beautiful, you know. But, you know, we also want it to be practical. So it's got to work as well as look good. And I think with this technique, we actually get both. So anyways, guys, I just want to share that with you. As I finish this and finish my covers and add more to it, I'm going to show you. So I think we'll have to follow-up video because I want to put some more pages in that I handwrite and show you how that's done also. But if you want to, you know, think about your own Book of Shadows, why don't you start? Just go to your office supply store or your wherever you buy school supplies. I think even Walmart or Kmart or CVS, any of the, you know, stores, local, you know, pharmacies, they all carry supplies. Pick yourself up one and just start, you know. Now, you know, in the past, you know, I've heard people say to me, well, say, Bob, one day I'll start a Book of Shadows, but I have to find the right book, and I want it to be, you know, this so-and-so, and I haven't found it yet. Listen, don't put binders on yourself. Well, binders. I didn't mean it like that, but you know what I mean. This is a binder. But what I mean is find a book and just start. You're going to revise it. This is probably going to go through 5 more revisions before I get it looking like I want. But the wonderful thing, I got it going. And I'm going to do beautiful artwork, and this will be just as nice as a fine leather-bound gold gilt book when it's done. See, and I didn't have to spend a lot of money. These binders are what, like $3 or $5? And the pocket sheets, you can buy those in any amount. I bought a big pack of 100. You don't have to buy that many. But you can buy them in 5 or 10 or 15, 20, whatever size you want. I bought bulk just simply because it's cheaper if you buy bulk. And I think a 100 pack was like $15 or $17. So it wasn't totally cheap, but, you know, I get 100 sheets, and if I get 2 sheets per page in it, that's 200 pages right there. So that's pretty good, and it does protect it. Another thing about the plastic, which is nice, is, I don't know about you guys, but I flipped over candles on my altar and spilled wax. So if you spill wax on this, you know, all you have to do is peel it off. It won't ruin your original sheets, or if it doesn't come off the plastic, you just take the paper and put it in a new presentation sheet holder, and your original parchments are not damaged. That and also water. You know, I always spill water on my altar too. So I'm going to encourage you guys, explore it. You know, tell me down below about your Book of Shadows. Do you have a Book of Shadows? Have you ever tried a 3-ring binder? If you have, what's been your experience? Or maybe you want to try that. I'd love to hear your experiences, your ideas, your thoughts. So anyways, guys, I just want to come here to you today and share that. Also, I thought I'd tell you, if you want to learn more about Wicca, As I mentioned, definitely get Scott Cunningham's book, Wicca Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. I also have a book out, which is a book of spells called Psychic Bob's Book of Spells. And this is a wonderful little spell book here, which has a lot of little magic charms in it. There's a pentagram charm, and we got all sorts of stuff. I have put all the artwork, all the little pictures. I drew these myself. They're my own creation. But it's a lot of fun. Here's a group of witches gathering at the full moon. That's my own creation. And you might enjoy this book. Now, also, just so you know, some of you have already bought this. So, Psychic Bob, you got any more coming? I have another book that will be out hopefully at the beginning of December, if not sooner, which is going to be Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. And this other book, it's going to be kind of a companion to this book. And it's going to kind of share ideas about life as a witch, journeying in the craft, and how to, develop your practice. So I hope you'll, explore that. And I'll have more about that as that book gets ready to be released. But this year, before the end of the year, we're going to have another book out, Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom, and you don't want to miss that as well. Anyways, guys, I just want to come here. Thank you for your time. I hope this is of some interest to you. Tell me about your Book of Shadows in the box below, or if you haven't started one, if you'd like to, tell me about your ideas. Sure love to hear from you. Anyways, guys, listen. Also, do any of you have any charms that you wear that are magic book charms or Book of Shadows? I've never seen this, and I just love it. I'm curious if any other people wear a magical book charm. Tell me about that as well. Anyways, guys, listen, keep it here at Spirit Channel. On Thursday, we've got messages from the Spirit World coming. You don't want to miss that. Anyways, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe. Or even if you're not new, subscribe. I'd love you to be part of our channel. It's free, and you'll get updates every week about what's going on here. So, so anyways, give me thumbs up, like it, favorite, share it with all your friends, and keep it here at Spirit Channel. I'll see you back here on Thursday. And in the meantime, share your thoughts below. Blessings to you.